Some criminals plan every move except the one that matters most, thinking ahead. That's where confidence quietly turns into a trail, and every decision begins telling its own story.
Huh? Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. All right.
This guy turned a quick robbery into a long-term problem. He came looking for cash, but ended up making the worst investment of his life. No refunds, no returns, just consequences. The getaway looked fast, but the plan was pretty short-sighted. A few moments of easy money can turn into years of explaining why it seemed like a good idea. Imagine walking into a discount store with what appeared to be a weapon, risking your entire future, just to steal an amount that probably wouldn't even pay for a decent vacation. Criminal math never seems very smart. Breaking into a bakery on N Wayside in Houston at 2:15 in the morning just to rough up an employee and empty the cash drawers? That's a whole lot of cruelty for what was probably a very disappointing payday. Smashing a window doesn't make you a professional thief. It just makes you the person who leaves behind a broken window, stolen items, and a lot of questions for investigators. Three guys walk into a phone store, armed, order everyone onto the floor, and risk throwing away their entire future for phones. That's a pretty expensive trade when your freedom is worth a whole lot more than the merchandise. Holding down a 71-year-old woman while stealing her jewelry isn't a robbery to brag about. If your biggest victory is overpowering a grandmother, you've already lost at life. Robbing a gas station isn't exactly hitting the jackpot. By the time they split the stolen cash, they might end up with less than they would have made from working a few honest shifts. Pretending to shop before jumping the counter is a bold strategy. Unfortunately, the only thing he successfully purchased that night was a future full of consequences. These thieves broke into a store and stole more than 24 weapons, as if they had just won a free shopping spree. The problem is, crime doesn't come with free rewards. It comes with consequences that never end well. One suspect pretended to pay a phone bill while his partner pulled out a weapon and headed straight for the back room. That's one way to avoid paying a bill. Too bad prison time isn't paid in monthly installments. It's measured in years. Ten people involved in one burglary? That's not a crime spree. That's a group project, where everyone gets the same failing grade. Some teamwork should never happen.
Get down! Whoa, 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 whoa. Get down! Get him down! Keep down! Keep down! I told him a lot! Hurry up. 1 second. Get him down! Keep down! Keep down!
One suspect kept the employees under threat, while the others raided the register and grabbed phones from the back office. If they put this much planning into starting a business, they'd probably own a phone store instead of robbing one. Robbing a Cricket wireless store these days is certainly a bold strategy. Those phones probably aren't even worth as much as the years you'll end up spending in prison. Looks like they got the money, but now they've become the stars of one of the world's least successful wanted campaigns. Breaking into a smoke shop with security cameras everywhere? That's some next-level criminal confidence. Or next-level stupidity. One suspect stood watch at the door, while the other turned the jewelry display case into a pile of shattered glass. In exchange for a few sparkling items, they left behind a trail of evidence that shined even brighter than the jewelry. A couple of bags, and a pawn shop full of valuables. They thought they were collecting easy money, but all they really collected was a much bigger investigation. These thieves probably thought they found an easy target. Too bad they forgot that businesses have cameras, witnesses, and a very long memory. A pawn shop already has cameras, security, and plenty of people watching valuables. Yet he still thought walking in with a weapon and stealing cash was a brilliant plan fulfills. These burglars thought they were being sneaky, but the security camera basically turned into a virtual security guard. The house didn't need a guard dog, it had Wi-Fi. They thought they were getting a free wardrobe upgrade. Instead, they upgraded a shoplifting case into a robbery investigation. That's one expensive shopping trip. Four guys walked into a pawn shop, but one stole the spotlight with the world's most recognizable tracksuit. A pawn shop owner and an employee got hurt over a robbery. Imagine throwing away your future for a few valuables. Criminals always think about the loot, never the consequences. Why risk your entire future over a few bottles of liquor? If they had put half that effort into finding a job, they probably could have bought the whole shelf legally. An armed liquor store robbery is a terrible business model. The profit lasts a few minutes, but the consequences can stick around for years. That's a pretty bad return on investment texting. The funniest part is, they ran off without even making it into the house. Turns out, the homeowner's voice was stronger than whatever plan they came up with.
Hey, go away! Go away! You go away!
Four people, one jewelry store, and one terrible plan. They walked in hoping for diamonds, but ended up polishing their future criminal case instead. These thieves showed up, hid the stolen item under a jacket, then drove off in an older maroon Nissan Altima as if nobody would notice. Turns out, the more recognizable your getaway car is, the harder it is to forget. One suspect distracted the employee while the other cleaned out the Versace display. They probably thought walking away with $2,000 worth of sunglasses was a great deal, until the security cameras turned their luxury shopping spree into an audition for the wanted list. Caught by a doorbell camera while stealing newspapers like they were priceless treasures. Breaking news: the newspaper was cheap, but the embarrassment was completely free. They smashed through the storefront with a BMW, stormed in with hammers and machetes, injured innocent people, grabbed Rolexes and diamonds, then burned the getaway car. That's a lot of effort just to end up convicted anyway. The delivery driver had already worked long hours for modest pay, only to have a package snatched right out of his hands. It's hard to believe some people would rather steal someone else's hard work than earn their own. These two walked into the store like they owned the place, grabbed an armful of cigarettes, and casually strolled out, as if it were just another ordinary day. Houston's security cameras are working overtime. Another armed robber thought he'd score easy cash, but now he's probably starring in his own Wanted episode. Stealing a Prius catalytic converter in broad daylight takes a lot of confidence, and apparently not a lot of common sense. Daylight doesn't make a crime invisible. It just gives everyone a better view. This package thief walked up to the front porch, took the package, and walked away as if it were his own order. This thief spotted a chair outside and probably thought, "Yep, this is going to be my next prize." She thought hiding a luxury watch under her handbag would fool everyone. Turns out a €136,000 Patek Philippe isn't exactly the kind of item you can pretend accidentally fell into your purse. This bike thief thought he had made a clean getaway until the doorbell camera spoke up. One sentence from the owner, and the fastest bike ride of the day suddenly turned into the fastest run of his life.
Hey, stop with the bicycle, I see you!
A crime completed in just 60 seconds. It's hard to believe someone would risk their future over a vehicle part that never belonged to them. Stealing a package from someone's doorstep is already bad enough. Destroying the security device too only proves that they were not just stealing gifts. A giant bag full of stolen phones might look like a jackpot for 5 minutes. The problem is, bad decisions usually stay fully charged a lot longer than the batteries do. Imagine making a career out of robbing people who are riding the bus to save money. That's like stealing lunch from someone who's already splitting a sandwich. Robbing a currency exchange was bad enough, but tying up the employee and stealing her wallet too? She showed up to work without much money and still got robbed. Some criminals really never know when to stop. Smashing a jewelry display with a hammer for a handful of jewelry has to be one of the worst investment strategies ever. He traded a few minutes of easy money for a future filled with police looking for him. Pepper spraying a store clerk just to attack an ATM has to be one of the dumbest business investments ever. They risked years of their future chasing money that was never theirs in the first place. Two armed guys waited outside a check cashing store, robbed someone who had just picked up their money, grabbed the victim's phone, and sped away in a gray Honda Civic. Imagine putting that much teamwork into stealing someone else's paycheck instead of earning your own. You take the bus to save money, only to get robbed on it. That's like getting mugged in the discount aisle. It just shows that criminals will even target people who are already trying to stretch every dollar. Three guys hit multiple convenience stores in less than an hour, thinking they were on a winning streak. Instead, they turned a handful of cash into a whole lot of legal trouble and left innocent people injured along the way. The victims were just trying to complete a normal shopping trip. Meanwhile, someone else turned the parking lot into a nightmare. A quick purse snatching and getaway could not erase the fear they left behind. When you step back, these stories aren't just about crime. They're about the moments when arrogance outruns judgment and ordinary people rise to the occasion. Funny enough, bad decisions tend to leave the clearest trail behind. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more stories.